Thank you for visiting my channel. In this video, I want to talk to you about how to interpret your own dreams. My dreams are everything to me. I started paying attention to my dreams a few years back, and what helped me to do so was a bad breakup that I was going through at the time. At the time, this relationship meant everything to me, and that I'm grateful for it because it helped me to stumble upon my spiritual journey. See, every night when I went to bed, I would have dreams about the other person and things that was happening around me at the moment. And because this person meant so much to me, I paid very close attention to my dreams. And soon after, I started realizing that I was going to bed at night and experiencing my reality before I physically experienced it when I woke up. And this was early in my spiritual journey, so it freaked me out. It scared the crap out of me because everyone else that I was sharing it with at the moment couldn't really relate. In time, I was able to Google and go on YouTube and find communities of people who can relate to what I was going through. But for a little while, I was completely alone in it. And it was interesting, exciting, but a little bit scary because I didn't know what to make of it. And with me having a little bit of a religious background, I was kind of taught that it wasn't normal for everyday people like myself to have dreams about the future. It seemed as if that wasn't normal for someone like me, so maybe it was a bad thing. But in fact, it's the greatest thing that could have ever happened to me. And now I use my dreams to guide me when it comes to making big decisions, or help me to see things that I can't normally see in the physical reality, because maybe my emotions, perception, and ego has such a strong control over my view, so I can't see things for what they really are. So when I go to sleep in the dream realm, I am able to see things for what they are and make better decisions in my awakened life. One dream that I had that I'll never forget that changed the way I view dreams was the dream that I had about my grandfather. See, my grandfather was here in America at the time visiting for his 80th birthday. And it was amazing having him here because as a kid, my grandfather was the most important person in my world because he was the kindest person that I've ever met. One of the only people who treat children as if they are little people, meaning that one day, when most people don't realize that children will be adults one day, you know, they kind of dismiss children, ignore them, and you know, not treat them with the same respect they would treat another adult. I don't meet too many adults that do that, but my grandfather was that guy. He treated children with the utmost respect, and we loved him. So he was visiting at the time, and at this time he's so much older. He's not as strong as on his feet as he usually was in the past. So I had to do a lot of physical care for him. And I was grateful to be able to give back to him, even though there's no way I can give back to him what he has given to me by being so loving and kind to me throughout the years since I've known him, since I was a little girl. So one morning I woke up from a dream that felt too real, so real that I woke up in tears and cried for at least 3-4 minutes before the phone rang. And it was a call from my brother. And in the dream, I dreamt that my grandfather passed away. And I was sharing the dream with my brother, sharing how the dream played out. And in the end of the dream is when I got the news that he passed away, and I fell in my dream. And as I was falling in my dream, I was waking up in reality, waking up from my sleep. So I shared the dream with my brother, and he asked me, what do you think that means? I said, I don't know, but I'm just so happy it is just a dream. So later on that day, I went to my mom's house and got my grandfather ready for church. And as I was getting him ready for church, tears started coming down my face, and I had to turn my head away and hide the tears from him because I didn't want him to see, because I didn't want to have to explain to him that I'm crying because I'm happy he's alive, because I had a dream earlier this morning that he passed away. So while I'm getting him ready, I'm just so grateful that it was just a dream. And he had 2 more weeks left to go before he went back to Jamaica, because that's where he lived. He would just come up and visit for all the special occasions and major events. He was here for all of it. So for the remainder of the 2 weeks that he had left with me, I was completely present when I was in his presence, because that dream shook me up so bad. You know, it made me realize how happy I am to be in his presence. So on the day that he had to return to Jamaica, me and my uncle brought him to the airport, and I was able to push him to the gate, and I was able to sit with him for an entire hour until it was time for his flight to start boarding. And we kind of sat there and we didn't really say much. We just sat in each other's presence, which is something that we did a lot, because my grandfather was a quiet man and someone very easy to be around, someone that you didn't feel awkward silence when you were in his presence. So he got on the flight, and in less than 24 hours later, he passed away. And I was sad to hear that he passed away, but at the same time, I was grateful that that dream that I had 2 weeks earlier helped me to live in the moment. When I had the dream, I didn't know he was gonna pass away, but the dream shook me up so bad that it helped me to be present whenever I was with him. So I am grateful for dreams like that one and many other that helped me to prepare for my awakening moments. So yeah, you know, that's my story on a dream that helped me to pretty much make great memories and have no regrets. In the beginning, when I started dreaming, it was hard to interpret my dreams, because not all the time did dream meanings that other people hold dear to their culture match mine. Like, for example, I'm from Jamaica, and for us, if you dream and see a certain color, like say for example, if you dream and see white, it might be, it's a good dream, where in another culture, seeing white is a bad dream. So I feel like when it comes to dreaming, it's important for you to be open-minded and hear what others believe when it comes to certain symbolisms and meanings and things, but it's more important for you to figure out what things mean to you. See, the dream about my grandfather was a pretty straightforward dream, but I also have other dreams that are not so straightforward, that are filled with a bunch of symbolism, and like a puzzle, I have to put all the pieces together in order to get the bigger picture. And when I'm dealing with dreams like those, like for example, I had this one dream some months back when I was going through a really tough time. I kept having reoccurring dreams of being barefoot and lost. And for me, like, I had to observe, okay, how did I feel in the dream? So when you're breaking down and trying to interpret your own dreams, first ask yourself, how did I feel in that dream? What were my emotions? What was I feeling? After taking a close look at what you were feeling, look at what the big picture of the dream is. If it was a story, what is the theme? what is the main plot of the dream? What's that also about? And if there's a symbolism that's representing it, like for example, with my dream where I was barefoot and lost, I feel like the main thing in the dream for me was being lost. And at that time, it actually reflected what was happening around me. I was in a place in my life where I was pretty much lost. I was trying to force myself to fit into a situation that wasn't meant for me. And then the whole barefoot thing, I feel like our feet helps us to stand firmly on the ground, and our shoes help to protect our feet. And our shoes also our shoes also helps us to have a good firm stance on the ground. So I feel like not having any shoes for me represented me not having my feet firm on the ground, me not feeling stable. So the dream showed me that I was lost and not stable. And at that moment in my life, I felt lost because I was completely alone, and I didn't feel stable because I didn't have a support system around me. So when you're decoding your dreams, it's cool to go online and read the meanings for different things, and also check yourself and see what those symbolisms actually mean to you. Like, you might see a symbolism that makes sense to you and you want to own it because you know you can relate to it, and you might see another that completely makes no sense to you. Totally disregard it because it's your dream. So your higher self is going to use symbolisms and images and emotions that you can connect to, that you can relate to, so you can decode your awakening moments and make better decisions instead of running into walls and blindly approaching your day-to-day life when there's always guidance around you. Share in the comment box below your experience when it comes to dreams. I hope this video was helpful in helping you to interpret your dreams.